This is absolutely absurd. Trump may think he's pulling some sort of power play behind the scenes, but him once again bucking the norms of the presidential transition might backfire, not only on him, but on the nation's security. This article reads, Trump still hasn't signed agreements to begin transition of power, White House says. And this is so unprecedented. This isn't just a formality. This is essential to having a smooth handoff of power where the new administration can get security clearances, government briefings, essential resources that he's supposed to be getting months before he takes office. He's supposed to essentially be taking in this information, doing a brief every day, so on January 21st, it's not a completely new lifestyle. He's basically easing himself into it. And Biden's team has said they'll do whatever it takes to make sure there is a peaceful transition of power. Democrats absolutely love the norms, almost to a fault at this point, and Donald Trump just is bucking the transition of power for the second, maybe third election in a row, and it's insane. So Trump's delay could have serious consequences that I want to break down for you guys. Again, not just for his admin, but for all of us, because by ignoring these long-standing protocols, the team is depriving themselves from the very information that they need to hit the ground running. So let's explain how this could backfire. Drop a like, subscribe, become a member if you can. And before we jump into this, I do want to show you AOC absolutely roasting Marjorie Taylor Greene this morning. This had me cracking up. So CNBC posted, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene tapped to work with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy as the new DOGE subcommittee chair. I mean, this should be an Onion article right there. It's like the three worst people you know working on a fake sham board. Marjorie Taylor Greene working with Vivek and Elon. I mean, objectively, Vivek Ramaswamy is just smarter than Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's gonna realize why liberals don't like her really quickly. AOC responded, this is good actually. She barely shows up and doesn't do the reading. To borrow a phrase I saw elsewhere, it's like giving someone an unplugged controller. I love that so much. She then said, absolutely dying at these two now getting assigned the privilege, quote, privilege of, quote, working with Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is actually hilarious. Enjoy, fellas. Very prestigious post you have there. I just find this hilarious because it's the opposite of a prestigious post, especially for Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. I hate them. They are slime balls, but objectively, this would have been beneath them 4 years ago. I mean, beneath their time. Vivek Ramaswamy is worth $500 million. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. 4 years ago, they were actually up to decently important shit. Now they've gotten sucked into this MAGA grift so hard that they're spending all their time with Marjorie Taylor Greene in a sham department just to placate Donald Trump and think that you're doing some sort of work. Again, AOC said absolutely dying at those two, now getting assigned the, quote, privilege of working with MTG. This is actually hilarious. Enjoy, fellas. Very prestigious post you have. And before we jump into Trump still not signing the agreements to begin this transfer of power that has been existing since the inception of America, let me show you this clip of Mark Milley that got about 1 million views in a few hours last night.
Don't lecture me about women in combat. Women have been in combat, and it doesn't matter if that 7.62 hits you in the chest. No one gives a if it's a woman or a guy who pulled that trigger. You're still dead. So if you meet the standards, our military must be and always should be a standards-based, merit-based military, period, full stop. It doesn't matter if you're white, if you're black, if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a Catholic, if you're a Protestant. None of those identification things matter. What matters are standards, readiness standards. Do you meet the standard or not? If yes, pass go, collect 200, join the infantry.
Keep in mind, this dude has spent years as the highest-ranking military official in the country. People like John Kelly and Mattis as well, and Trump calls all of them weak traitors who are woke generals, even though Donald Trump has never stepped foot on a battlefield. I mean, I haven't either, but I'm not calling Mark Milley an absolute woke person. It just shows Donald Trump's pure incompetence, his projection, and that brings me to this, which also shows, like, what the hell is going on here? Trump still hasn't signed agreements to begin the transition to power, White House says. And I have a few theories as to why this is happening, but 2 weeks after his election victory, President-elect Donald Trump has still not signed the legal documents needed to formally begin the transition of power from the Biden admin. Trump has not agreed to memorandums of understanding with the General Service admin, which includes an ethics policy. That's the big highlight right there. I'm going to highlight that. This includes an ethics policy. The delay in submitting the documents, which typically are filed at least a month before presidential elections, means the government can't provide security clearances, can't provide briefings and resources to Trump's incoming team before the president-elect is sworn into office. And you have to understand, this refusal to sign the transition documents doesn't just put his own team at a disadvantage, but it puts all of us in danger. It's not just a weird quirk where he's bucking the system. No, it's a roadblock that prevents his team from getting the critical resources they need regarding information coming from our intel agencies. For someone who thrives on projecting strength and control, it's kind of weird. This makes him look weak, unprepared, unorganized, and it's exactly the image I think he'll be portraying once he gets back into office. He has put so many incompetent people into so many incompetent positions, and on top of that, he's largely misread this victory. He did win the election. There was no election fraud. Please stop sending me emails about election fraud. It did not exist. No Democratic politician has come out and said it. People are only getting it from TikToks. But going back to that, he won the election by 1.5%, maybe a little bit less, 1.5%, like 2 million votes, less than what Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by. And he is misreading this as a massive mandate. He just thinks he got the mandate of the people. That is not true whatsoever. The delay in submitting the documents, which typically are filed at least a month before presidential elections, means he doesn't have access to critical information. Quote, "Our teams continue to stay in touch," says White House Press Secretary KJP, but that's not enough. As of now, the Trump-Vance transition team has not yet entered into the agreements the White House and the General Service Administration provided. And here's the thing. I've been thinking about why this is, and I think it's due to the ethics policies in the memorandums of understanding required for the transition, because they are designed to ensure a few things. Transparency among the cabinet. They are there to prevent conflicts of interest among the cabinet and just maintain oversight and accountability during the handover of power. And we're not getting any of that, which leads me to wonder, what is the Trump transition team hiding? It kind of reminds me of Speaker of the House Mike Johnson so desperately trying to stop that report from being released, the Matt Gaetz report. What is Mike Johnson hiding? But I also want to say that when you sign this memorandum of understanding, it requires all transition teams to disclose financial holdings, to take ethics pledges, and to adhere to federal rules about conflicts of interest. Is Elon Musk, you think J.D. Vance or RFK Jr. wants to do, one, financial disclosures, but two, ethics pledges saying that they won't engage in anything where there's a conflict of interest? That is probably why. That is exactly why they are not signing this. The team doesn't want to be, let's say, restricted by ethics codes. And given Donald Trump's long history with these kind of stipulations, he probably views them as intrusive or a threat to his ability to point these loyalists, but it's actually just a threat to his ability to be unethical. And Trump has previously resisted a lot of similar oversight measures, citing concerns about bureaucracy, F the bureaucracy. But again, this is more than just a middle finger to the government. That's not what he's doing here. He is putting everybody at risk when he refuses to take in information that he needs. Trump and incoming Chief of Staff Susie Wiles met with Biden and his Chief of Staff Jeff Zients in the Oval Office last week. KJP and Zients have since reached out to the Trump transition co-chair Linda McMahon and Howard Lutnick and consistently reiterated wanting to work together to ensure having what they need. They consistently reiterated, hey, we need to work together. This needs to happen. Because one side actually cares about the country. President Biden actually cares about the rule of law and norms, and the other side just doesn't whatsoever. I can't wait to see how history writes about the second Trump admin. You and I, the people watching this, we're going to have to be the ones that push back relentlessly, because Lord knows CNN won't. But just think about all of the potential conflicts of interest here. I mean, first of all, the business entanglements, not only of Trump's expansive business empire, which he bolstered during his first term using his power, but also Elon Musk, the richest man in the world who spent $44 billion, wants to see a return on that investment. And adhering to the strict ethics that this code says you have to might complicate that a little bit. Either way, if you enjoyed this video and if you appreciate what I do, drop a like, subscribe, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
If you enjoyed this video and want to help support independent journalism during the Trump administration, please consider becoming a member of Mockler's channel by clicking the join button below. The content will always be free, but you can help level up the Mockler channel by becoming a member below. Thank you.